My name is Wendy Cort. I'm a Novant Health Medical Group team member. I'm also a mother of 3 wonderful children, a wife, and a daughter. It was scary at that moment. So when I was asked to work the front lines to begin testing for patients, it was my duty, I felt, as a nurse to step right in. And I will tell you that the medical group really did step right in. We set up camp at multiple different sites, some days seeing up to 300 patients in a day. Would I do it again? 100% I would do it again. I actually enjoyed that time. I was very proud at that moment doing that, I really was. On March 27th, I walked into Matthews Medical Center and was admitted initially into the emergency room, thinking that I would receive a few treatments, maybe a few IV fluids, and be sent on my way. Little did I know that I would be told that I was very sick and was immediately transferred to ICU that day, and actually told immediately that I needed to be placed on a ventilator to save my life. At that moment, I was also told, did I want to reach out to my family? And I picked up my cell phone, and very scary, I went ahead and dialed my family to pretty much say my goodbyes and not sure what's going to be the next chapter. I did not see or speak to my family, unfortunately, because I was on a ventilator for another 21 days.
When the first day that Wendy went to the hospital and she had called us and told us that she would be intubated, the first thing I asked was, can I be with her? And the answer was no, for obvious reasons. And I had to respect that. But you want to care and you want to protect and you want to, as a man I guess, you want to go ahead and you want to take care of it, make it go away. And you can't.
My dad came home after dropping her off, and probably within an hour and a half, 2 hours, he got the call saying that she had to be intubated. And we immediately dropped everything, got a bag together to prepare to bring to her. And on the way to the hospital, I called my sister and immediately told her that she needed to come home now, and that this was a lot more serious than we had ever envisioned.
I got the call while I was driving here, so sorry, State Patrol troopers. I was driving very safely while talking to my mother. She was being placed on a ventilator. But in those moments, I just sent as much energy as I could to the nurses that were by her side, because I knew at that point that those were the only people that could provide her with the physical energy and motivation to continue pushing forward. And I know that my mom always relies on just positive spirits and positive energy to get her through anything.
When I would speak with any of the caregivers, whether it's a physician or a nurse or a occupational therapist or whomever it was, I would record all those statistics and all my notes in a journal, so I could follow it. And then at that point, I was able to go ahead and keep friends, family up to date. I didn't give them all the specifics, but at least I could go back and at least I could tell my family she was doing better or she was doing worse. But when it got really critical, I reached out to people. Once you start reaching out to neighbors or family friends or sorority people reach out and starting to want to help you, I think I heard from someone from every state in the continental United States. People I'd never even heard of, I don't know, just offering to help, saying, what can I do? Don't even know you. I mean, that is awesome.
When it got to be many days that Adam was not giving me any positive results, one night I thought, I can't do this by myself. And I emailed a couple of friends and a couple of groups that I have in church. And from there on, they spread the news, and they started prayer groups all over. And then the prayer groups even got down to our friends in Miami and all of our relations, of course, with all those people being concerned, and they were always checking in on me, and as well as the neighbors, kind of lifted me up that somebody else was out there praying for. And the prayers worked.
Yay! Yay! Good job. Good job.
We had this first Zoom meeting. It was okay. It was okay. And then we had the second Zoom meeting to see Wendy. And I promised myself I wouldn't let my kids see that again because it was horrible. Okay? And I knew it was just bad. And I feel that the coordinator who was with Wendy just could see in our faces that it was horrible. And I know my kids were crying. I was tearful. But at the end, she went ahead and she says, hey, look, I'm telling you, Wendy's doing a lot better. She can go ahead and look, Wendy, give them a thumbs up. And she held up Wendy's hand like this. And you could see her holding Wendy's hand. And we could see her hand go with a thumbs up, right? And we knew it. And, you know, of anything, at least it showed that someone was caring. Someone realized how we were feeling, wanted to try to still help us, even though we weren't in the room with her, wanted to try to make us feel a lot better. And you know something? A little bit of humor helps people too, right? You have to have humor.
For the healthcare team that cared for me, and also I want to mention my coworkers who on the back end supported me, so lived out the values. The two that really stick out to me the most is compassion, because the care I received was so much compassion, and also courage. Team members at this time, this was such an unknown virus, and they put their fears, their family aside to care for me, which, you know, I thank them from the bottom of my heart, truly, for the care that they delivered for me. Obviously, I'm a different person now in that I really work hard to take each moment as it is, not waiting until tomorrow to do the things that I could do today. Spend Friday afternoons with my mom having lunch after work, spending time with my children in special moments, having breakfast with my son on Sundays. So really taking those moments and savoring them, so to speak, as they come.
So if I had to say something to the former Adam and Wendy from 6 months ago or pre-COVID, I would say all those words that we always say, but maybe we don't mean so much. Have balance in your life. Spend time with each other. Make time for each other. Make me time. I think we get wrapped up in things way too much, and it's always do this, do that, but you never have your me time, and I think that's important to everyone. What I would say to the Novant Health team is not quite sure how you say thank you to everyone. I mean, how do you say thank you for doing everything you did? Every time I spoke to a doctor or a nurse or a therapist or whomever I got on the phone, whoever it was, it could have been that person that was helping make the bed that day. I always said thank you, and I meant that. The only thing that I ever hope for is I have the opportunity to reciprocate that to them. So as Wendy's always said, if I can go back and thank them by doing the same or more, that is the best thank you can give to someone.
Throughout my journey with COVID, both while I was in the hospital and even upon my discharge, I have heard stories that are so moving. One in particular that I remember is, that I don't remember, but I was told about, was actually a team of nurses, especially right before I went on ECMO, who held a vigil outside my room and actually prayed the nursing prayer to support me during this very critical time that I was going through at that moment. Also, story of the nurse who, on her Saturday, mowing her lawn, received that phone call and actually stopped what she was doing and came to my aid to be there when I was placed on ECMO. The critical care nurse manager who stayed late almost every day to ensure that I was connected with my family via Zoom. There was even a nurse who cared for me, who talked to me, continuously when I was in ICU. And I remember it, even as, being on a ventilator and things. She actually came out of retirement just to care for ECMO patients. She knew there was a need, and she stepped in to do that. Nurses sometimes don't realize that those simple tasks like that, how much of a difference and how much patients appreciate it. I really want to take this moment to say thank you to all the healthcare team that took care of me during this very critical time. I know for a fact that I would not be here without you guys and the care that you delivered to me. If the roles were reversed, I would be right here for you and caring for you the way that you cared for me so wonderfully. So thank you, each of you, thank you. And also to the providers and to my coworkers and just everybody, thank you so much for the support and care that you showed to me during this time.